So, 1 year of living here in South Florida, what can I tell you? What is going on, everybody? And as always, welcome to Pay Yourself Back, where the key to happiness and success in this life that we live is mental and spiritual wellness. If you're new to the channel, if you hadn't subscribed to the channel at this time, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Thank you very much. Let me just start off by saying, keep an open mind when you watch this video. Think outside of the box, because sometimes we let our feelings and our pride and our emotions trump our intelligence. So one thing I would say is think outside of the box. So just briefly, the transition for me moving from Washington State to here was a relatively easy transition. It was painless because what I did, I planned for it, guys. I planned at least 2.5 years in advance to move here. So I did my research. I did my homework in terms of looking at the economy, job market, home buying, renting. So I did my homework, but the reality of it is, guys, that no matter how much research you do, sometimes you're not going to know until you actually get there. So there are some things that I didn't expect when I got here, but nevertheless, it is what it is. I can turn a bad situation into a good situation. One other thing, I had family that was here, so I had a place to stay. Now that might not be the case for the next person, but in my case, I had people that I stayed with, and so I had saved, so it wasn't like I was broke. But after 4 or 5 months, I found a job, and then I found somewhere to live, and I moved out. But I had a place to stay, which made things a lot better. The one thing I will say to anybody, the best advice that I can give anybody is to not move here with a tourist mentality. What do you mean, Carlos? So because there are some realities about becoming a resident of South Florida or anywhere that the tourist, like California, anywhere. There's some realities that may differ from what you know as a tourist. There's some things that you're not going to have to do as a tourist when you get here, like look for a job, register your car, pay insurance, things like that. So don't move here with a tourist mentality. Make sure you do your homework. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to piggyback off of a couple of my prior videos, my first 30-day video and my first 6-month video. So a little of what I'm going to say is going to sound repetitive if you hadn't watched those videos. If you hadn't, go ahead and check them out. And it kind of talks a lot about just what it is, first 30 days and first 6 months. So I have people who comment and ask me questions. I'm going to address those as well. I have people from the Netherlands, Amsterdam. They come here to visit and they enjoy it so much, they're going to move, or they're thinking about moving and relocating. So the one thing I would tell you is that don't move here based upon what you have seen as a tourist. When you get to South Florida, what are you going to do for money? Because you gotta make money. What I have seen here is that I started out, when I got here, I started looking for jobs in the private sector. Even though I'm a military veteran, well, I started looking for the private sector job, and then I had no success looking for those types of jobs. So I started applying for jobs that were more along the lines of what I used to do, state jobs and government jobs. So when I started applying for those jobs, those type of jobs, and they recognized my skill level and my veteran status, I started getting calls and interviews. And so that's where I had my success at. Now, what I have noticed is that skilled labor is the way to go down here in Florida. Meaning, if you're a welder, a plumber, electrician, a carpenter, those type of those type of skills, if you have that, I think you'll do real well here. Because Florida is a right to work state. It has a lot to do with the union in terms of the wages. A lot of people say, and I have even said this, that the wages are low, but I think that has a lot to do with it because of the right. This is a right to work state. I don't know a whole lot about that, guys, so I'm not going to really get into details about that. But skilled labor is where it's at, man. And I mean, that's where you're going to make, that's where you'll do well in it. So, but But I was fortunate, and the surprising part is that Florida is a very, I did a video also, Florida is a very veteran-friendly state. It really is. I mean, if you're a veteran, you get a lot of discounts. This has been a long time coming, the 1 year experience. I had someone ask me about, does Florida have like a lot of bugs and stuff like that? So what I have seen is the little mosquitoes. You know, you got to keep your skin so soft, or you're off whatever you use. Little mosquitoes. Florida has a lot of these canals. So if you live close to a canal or you work, you might experience some mosquitoes. So keep you some bug juice handy. Cockroaches. I'm from Texas. I know they have a different name for the cockroach, but it's a cockroach. Those are, I mean, they ain't flying everywhere, but they do have some cockroaches down here in Florida. And also lizards. This is the weirdest thing to me. I mean, it's not something I'm not used to. I open my door and lizards are just, or you'll see them running around. No big deal. And iguanas. I mean, like big iguanas. So if you guys are like squeamish, I mean, the iguanas, yeah, they're here. I mean, and they don't bother anybody. I mean, I can live anywhere. I can turn a bad situation into a good situation. It just depends on you as the individual if you're willing to do that. I mean, Florida Florida. I've been here for a year, and so far so good. I would just say it like that. One thing I have experienced also is when it rains, like the rainy season or the hurricane season, it kind of rains a lot and it floods. It floods. So kind of be expecting that. I don't know how it is in other parts of Florida, but I know in South Florida where I'm at, when in the hurricane season, when it rains a lot and it floods. So be mindful of that. Another thing, when I got here, I was trying to hold out as long as I could with my Washington State tabs, my vehicle tabs. Because I had heard stories, man, about it's expensive to register your car in Florida. And so I tried to hold out as long as I could. And then I finally had to go get my car registered. Well, the registration wasn't as bad as I thought it would be. But my insurance, when I went to cancel my insurance policy from Washington State to Florida, my insurance, it's going to go up. It's going to go, and I have USAA, you know, which is probably one of the better, if not the best, auto insurance companies out there. Monterey and California and Portland, Oregon. Shout out to you guys. But West Coast is always going to be my first love. But Florida, I'm gonna stick around because you just can't beat. I mean, you just can't beat some of the. You on the water, man. Anywhere that I move to, it's got to have one or two things. It's got to either have the beach or some mountains. Those are two things that I absolutely have to have when I move anywhere. So they got the beach here. I mean, it's just, I mean, the food. Again, I talk about this. The food is great. You're going to get fat, man. You are going to get fat. You better get your exercise on, because if you like to eat and you like good food, Florida is definitely the place to be, because the food is excellent. And there's so many, South Florida is so diverse. There's all kind of, it's not just one specific food here. I mean, because of the diversity here, there's tons of different types of food here. I mean, ethnic wise. So it's just amazing. I watch what I eat. But even in doing that, you know, I kind of let myself go sometimes. But it's okay. You only got one life to live, right? That's it. So overall, guys, what I'm telling you is that you have to find your own joy and your own happiness. Don't let the place dictate that for you. You find your own happiness and joy. That's within you. So can I say that Florida is this, Florida is that? Sure. But I'd much rather say that I can take any situation and make it a good situation. I'd much rather say that. There's always going to be something wherever you go. It doesn't matter where you move or where you live. There's always going to be something that's different than the last place. You may have liked living one place because it had this and it had that. Okay, fine. But you can find that anywhere. You know, don't limit your joy and your happiness to just one particular place. It's in here. At least that's where it is for me. So overall, I really appreciate you guys tuning in. Again, this is my 1 year experience living in South Florida. Not a whole lot to talk about because I talked a lot about it in the prior videos. But again, like I say, after living here for 1 year, I think I'm gonna stick around. And I'll be coming at you guys with more videos. If there's anything in specific that you would like to see, again, let me know and I will do my best to make that video for you guys. Thank you guys for supporting me, to my subscribers, and for those who are soon to subscribe. Hopefully after watching this video, you already subscribed and like the video. I really appreciate it, guys. And with that being said, be well, my friend. CeeLos out, baby.